All right, everybody. We have set the stage. It is time for the grand finale, the crescendo. It's going to be Penn Manor going up against Chambersburg, who have not dropped a map. Like you said, you casted some of their games. They look like a powerhouse. What does Penn Manor have to do in order to take the dub here?
Honestly, gonna say it as it is here. Kill Moon 3. Moon 3 has some of the best hit scan potential I've seen in this whole league, and I think that, honestly, you put him on like any character, he's gonna dominate. But Shunem, I've seen that man's rank. He's GM, he's peak GM, so I think he might be the one to be able to diff him.
I mean, we did get to cast the Penn Manor game earlier, so we know what great things Shunem is capable of, especially on that Echo, which they're going to swap over to. And we do also know how great of a main tank Tech has been for the squad. So Penn Manor, they're not slouches. They're not going to just simply roll over here and die, but they are going to let Chambersburg have the first positional advantage on the point here. Going to try and melt down Squid pretty quickly here, but the Immortality Field is there, keeps them alive. Everybody from Chambersburg still alive and healthy, and
Derps is already down.
They did take down Squidderps there, and Shunem going to go in, wants to press this advantage, and this is actually going to be Penn Manor taking the first capture point here once they deal with these last couple stragglers.
There we go. That is the first point being taken by Shunem and taken down Moon 3 for that first point there. Going to be seeing Shunem already almost has ult and Tech at 67. Squid Derps does not even halfway, but we'll see if he can grind that pretty quickly.
It's going to be quite the advantage for Penn Manor to leverage, and in fact, they've even got a bit of a mental advantage as they force the swap from Moon 3 over to the Ashe just to try and deal with Shunem on this Echo, but yeah, Shunem's going to go ahead and match you, hits a nice headshot there, and takes down Moon 3. That's an Ashe differential. I'm not even playing Ashe, and I'm better than you at it, says Shunem. Got the Bob there, going to go ahead and pop it in while the rest of Chambersburg, yeah, they're getting caught with their pants down. Now they have to back up off the point, and that's a successful first hold there for Penn Manor. Chambersburg not completely out of the fight yet, but they're just dipping their toes in the water. They don't want to dive in the pool just yet.
It looks like they won't get any stagger picks, but what's going to happen here? So they have 3 ults left. Tech and Steel could definitely combo that, get a lot of damage. Only way they could really save themselves from that is if Nortnite throws down the Blizzard, which will come out. They take out Nortnite from Shunem. Shunem also gets taken out by Moon 3. Nita PK takes out Vengeance. That's 2 supports down. Both supports down.
Tech.
Derps get down. Tech is insane. Moon 3 res Shunem.
It's just like I called out last time. It's when the enemy team has no resources left is when Tech pops that Annihilation. And again, you either just fall to it because you have no counter, or you scatter like ants. Moon 3 had an incredible positional advantage on the high ground there with the Ashe, but they just completely negated that by killing the entire team.
Squid Derps has switched to the Junker Queen though, so we'll see if that can do a decent job. Moon 3 almost has ult. Let's see if that can do anything. Nita PK also at 84% charge. Tech is kind of low. We'll see if they can take advantage of that. And Bob gets sent out. They take him out instantly though. Junker Queen's trying to take that point, but Tech is anti. He's on fire, but he gets cleansed.
At the last possible second, the perfect time, Moon takes down Shunem. Nortnite going to take down Night Pika. And, I mean, it's pretty back and forth, but I think Chambersburg might have done just enough to kick Penn Manor off of the point here and flip it. And, indeed, they do, but it's at 99%. They lost Night Pika, who had that Death Blossom. They're going to lose...
Both the supports on Penn Manor have been taken out by Squid Derps. And Squid Derps does have his ultimate as the Junker Queen, but Steel could probably use a Stuzu to take that down. Night Pika will also have his ult. Let's see if he can get on the high ground, try and drop down and take them all out.
It's going to be up to Squidderps with this Rampage, I think. It's going to have to be the tool that ends up sending this one home and keeping it going for Chambersburg. The commanding shout comes out. A Nano and the Rampage, but the Suzu from Steel was on point. It's so good, so clutch. Cleans up everything. They take Shunem out of the duplicate form here, and for all their investments, Penn Manor so far haven't come up with much. They finally take down Squidderps. Oh, Tech has the ult too, and everyone back up. He's gonna pop it. Shunem is there with the focusing beam that cleans up too. This is gonna be Penn Manor taking the first point. Nortnite goes in to try and touch. Can't do much of anything. Steel with a quick kunai to the dome.
That was so huge from the side of Penn Manor with all of those ults coming in. Let's see what happens in round 2.
I don't want to call you out or anything, but before we started, you were like, all right, predictions, Chambersburg 3-0. If Penn Manor plays like this, I don't think Chambersburg is going to 3-0. I think if Penn Manor can keep this up for, I mean, at least just one more point on Oasis, 3-0 is pretty much impossible for Chambersburg unless they're getting 3-0'd. But I don't, for how dominant this team has been, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's going to happen. But I mean, this is a haymaker to start things off for Penn Manor.
North Knight's Fair, along with Squid Derps combining each other, they have a really good way of just like taking out one opponent at a time and destroying the lobby.
This is the perfect pick for Shunim here. I don't know if they scouted out that the pharmacy was going to come out, but sticking to a Mercy pocketed Cassidy, we saw how deadly that could be in the last round. Shunim probably was watching that, took a couple of notes from Tepig there. Gonna try and pressure down North Knight on the Pharah, who already takes 2 shots. J-Rule gonna have to put in overtime to keep North Knight alive.
Moon 3 is in their backline somewhere. He's not fully healed, but they don't have much they can do. Shunim will take a fight with Moon 3. Moon 3 and Squid Derps are able to take them out along with Vengeance.
Yeah, it's that early pick off there onto Padfoot Mooney that Chambersburg just collapsed on top of the fallout from that early pick off there, and everybody from the side of Penn Manor falls. Chambersburg swapping over to this dive comp with the pharmacy. They look pretty clean on this first fight here, and they are going to get the first capture percentage. Penn Manor sticking to their guns so far, though. Save for one thing, Shunim now over onto the Echo to try and match the other bird in the sky.
I think that Echo could do really good here. I think Knight PK can do some really good damage. He's doing some really good ults earlier, and Moon 3 is just going to stick on top of here, trying to get damage on the Echo Mercy, but it won't work, and he's going to get hit for a ton, but he uses Recall, gets back on top, still trying to go for some damage to get that ult up, almost at 100. North Knight will have his, though. He's going to ult that. Oh, and he's getting so much. Tech already getting taken down. Will they go for a res? It looks like they're going for it. He gets the res off, but Shunim will take out North Knight.
Yeah, it's the one pick that Penn Manor found that Chambersburg could not res, and that was J-Rule on the Mercy. Padfoot Mooney was still alive, so yeah, sure, they lost Tech, but the Mercy was able to just bring right back. And now suddenly Penn Manor have flipped it. 42% for Chambersburg is nothing to sneeze at, but Penn Manor, they're cooking right now. They have the duplicate. They're about to have a lot more if they can keep this rolling. This one might be tight.
This duplicate is going to be huge. If they use this duplicate on Squid Derps or North Knight, that gives them so much value. If they do it on North Knight, they have no hit scans to counter that.
They just
but it doesn't matter! He already takes him out.
Not even with the ultimate. Now he can just pop it. Duplicates the Tracer, going to build up a really fast pulse bomb here and put a ton of pressure on both the front and back lines. North Knight, by the way, swapping off the Pharmacy over onto the Sombra. J-Rule's going to fall, and this is going to be a fight win for Penn Manor. This is just a swift fight win. That focusing beam from Shunim just melts them all like butter, and that's a great hold from Penn Manor. With one ult, by the way, that was only the duplicate.
Yeah, they're going to be coming in with 4 ults left. And what does Chambersburg have? 3.
Yeah, 3?
I know math. 1, 2, 3.
I mean, the Primal Rage and the Kitsune Rush are both huge ultimates, but you would like to have this EMP to try and shut something down. Or an early hack going to come out onto Steel who pops.
But Moon 3 also gets taken down. North Knight is almost taken out, but he has the TP. Still gets taken down, but they res him instantly. Squid Derps is in his ult, trying to get value. He's in the air, taking out the Mercy. He doesn't even have to fall.
Penn Manor, though, they're still holding on. They haven't fallen. Tech still has the Annihilation, can choose to pop it at any time. North Knight gets 1 HP, forced to try and translocate out. Squid Derps with low HP and enemy lines, and Shunim is going to eat that up for lunch. Tech pops the Annihilation. We're in one-fight territory. If this fight staggers on, Chambersburg just signed their own death warrant.
Rita PK will take out Vengeance as a bit of a stagger for them, and I don't even know if they'll have time to take that. Actually, yeah, with the Tracer in the Sombra, they should be able to get one last touch in, but this is final fight territory.
Squid Derps has to switch over to the Doomfist and just falls, just collapses. The focus fire from Shunim and Steel just completely negates that Doomfist. Get out of here. This is Penn Manor's point to take. They're going to take Oasis if they can just clean up these last couple of stagger kills.
I don't even know if they can do anything.
Who is that up there on the sky that they can't quite dislodge? It's Vengeance, actually. The Kiriko that's keeping this alive, but he can't get another touch.
No, it won't matter.
Got hung out in the rafters just a little bit too long and wasn't able to get safely back down onto the ground. Penn Manor, that was clean and it was decisive. Chambersburg 3-0? I don't think so.
I don't even think there's been a single team to ever take down Chambersburg on this map.
I mean, well, Penn Manor, they definitely just did it, and they did it in style. Shoot 'em on this Echo is just a force of nature.
I remember Carlisle took a single map against them on Oasis, but like besides that, and they were like the number 8 seed, I think. And even then, they couldn't do anything. Penn Manor just obliterated them.
I mean, like something like that, you'd expect. If a top team is going to drop a map, you'd expect it to be like close, right?
Yeah.
You'd expect it to be like, we're going to all 3 maps of Oasis, and one of them was like a 99 to 100, like that sort of thing. Yeah. No, Penn Manor just didn't let them have anything.
Now, I'm expecting to see some. Since Chambersburg gets to pick this, I wouldn't be surprised if they pick up Midtown. They have been phenomenal on Midtown. They have held teams off of first point so many times. They held my team off first point. They held another team I remember watching off first point. I don't even know. I think that they can definitely take it if they're on that map. I don't know if Penn Manor's done their research. I don't know if they know about that whole thing they got going and they're going to ban it or what. But, like, no matter what, we'll see what happens. And I think they got it.
One thing you said, by the way, I don't know if Penn Manor's done their research. I kind of think they might have because, Penn Manor, they were here bright and early. When I first walked in the door, they were already here getting set up, ready to go, coaching the players, getting them ready. They were cooking the whole time. And I heard a couple rumblings from a couple of the players and the Penn Manor casters about how, they're always doing some scouting, always trying to find new strategies. They might know that. And, it's also possible that Chambersburg know that because they're not going to go to Midtown, actually. They're going to Blizzard World for our hybrid map.
Now, I remember the other week when this was a map that was being played for the semifinals, they played, not semifinals, the quarterfinals, they played Lampeter Strasbourg's main team on this map. And they also held them out for the entire first point. So we'll see if Penn Manor can break that.
I mean, this might actually just end up being kind of a battle of the scouts. Who did their homework,
yeah,
who understood the assignment and turned it in. Blizzard World's an interesting hybrid map. It's one where you can kind of play some silly things on both attack and defense. We can see both Ramatra, Wrecking Ball, a lot of those sorts of comps come out. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like an Orisa come out. Chambersburg right now, again, it's attacker spawns, never trust those, but they're flashing a dive comp wholesale with a double flex support backline. You think that might be enough to get them back in this?
I mean, look at Penn Manor's comp. They have a Hanzo, and they're running that against a Sombra. That will genuinely be huge for countering that. And I genuinely think if they keep that Hanzo, I think they can very easily make that Sombra swap.
Possibly the Sonic arrows from Night Pika might be enough to force North Knight off of the Sombra. If she's getting scouted, she's going to go back and swap. We're not going to see any more of a Sombra if Night Pika understands the assignment here, but we are going to see a wholesale dive composition from Chambersburg. The only real dive target I can see from the side of Penn Manor is Shunim, though.
Yeah, although I don't think they need to. Oh, okay, yeah, they're going in. They're going to take out that Mercy.
That's a great pick.
Shunim's trying to get extra damage, keeping them off the point, but it won't matter because Squid Derps is just coming in. He's coming in, and he gets 2 easily. They're trying to go for more. They get text, but they know there's another one. They see the Kiriko, but the Kiriko takes out Moon 3. He gets too cocky. And Shunim will dump him in the water. Bro fell for it like they fell on the Titanic.
It's a great parting gift there from Steel, but it's pretty inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. One of the weaknesses of any composition where you have a Mercy pocketing another hero is the Mercy, and Chambersburg did a great job of hacking the Mercy, jumping in, using the bubble to split off any support for the Mercy, and just melting her. Padfoot Mooney just got completely obliterated there, and that's going to be... this Mercy's got a target on her back, to say the least. Squidderps, though, has got one on his forehead right now. Shunim does not want to let Squidderps get another jump on the Mercy.
They are able to save him, but Vengeance looks like he's about to get taken out. They're able to get some good damage on him. Oh, Moon 3 uses his Pulse Bomb.
It doesn't really come up with much of anything there. Forced to recall. North Knight also going to translocate out. The cart's still rolling slowly, but not a whole lot of other activity going on from Chambersburg. They're trying to play this slow and methodical, and look for a crack in the armor and bust it open, and they're going to invest the nano into Squidderps to try and pressure this backline. That's the crack in the armor they were looking for. It's Steel, going to be the first to fall. Shoot him with a pick.
Right back, though.
Yeah, trading Vengeance out. That's a great pick off there for Shoot'em, who uses the duplicate, by the way, but Padfoot Mooney has fallen again. That's the weakness. If you take the Mercy down, the rest of the support line and the rest of Penn Manor will inevitably crumble.
Hex also about to get taken down. I think they realize that he still hasn't. What happened?
It's holding on for dear life. The block is doing a lot of damage, so everyone just turns their attention back to Shoot'em. Gets that echo off the cart. Ooh, I mean, contesting the cart there is also a great play there from Shoot'em. That's going to buy them some time, but the EMP from Nortnite might have just snuffed it out.
They're able to cleanse that EMP off, but Tech is able to get back and take out Nortnite right after that.
And with no EMP, Penn Manor, they now have the ult advantage here. They might choose to walk in with this Kitsune Rush. And again, if I know Tech and I know the way that this guy's been playing all day, once that well runs dry from Chambersburg, they're going to pop that Annihilation, go all in, and Penn Manor should be able to hold this for a significant amount of time, I think.
Night Party does, or Night PK has ult, and he's able to use it, taking out Squidderps and Nortnite, and is also taking out Jail Rules right afterwards. That's 4K, and that's the fifth. Vengeance just gets destroyed, and that's the team kill.
That's a huge Death Blossom to open it up from Night Pika, and I will trade that for a Kitsune Rush any day of the week, especially when you get to hold on to your own. You still have the Annihilation, and you still have a duplicate here, and Shoot'em has pulled magic out of the hat with some of these duplicates.
They have 4 ults left. They don't even have to try.
And they have the spawn advantage, too.
Yeah.
They can afford to spend heavily to try and hold this because, you know, the cavalry will be back, the reinforcements, they're right there.
And Moon 3 almost gets taken out, but he has to use Recall. They try diving them, but Shoot'em just becomes their own, and he takes out Jail Rules, goes in for the second, but he gets slept.
I mean, that's a great sleep, but I think the damage is already done. Taking down J-Rule, they can't sustain this push anymore, Ken Chambersburg. They have to back out. Yeah, they found Padfoot Mooney. They found Padfoot Mooney early in that fight, and they finally get the duplicate out, but they lost Vengeance. They lost J-Rule early in the fight. Chambersburg, they have to try and pick themselves up and dust the dirt off their shoulders and come back again.
Tech will have his ult, so I think that's just going to be like a really good thing to hold Chambersburg back from taking the point. Shoot'em's going in for more damage as he goes. He gains that ult charge even more. Squidderps will have his ult along with Vengeance. They might try and go for like a nano there, and they do. They get the nano ult.
Oh, that was a stomp from the high ground there from Squidderps with the Avada Kedavra there onto Padfoot Mooney and still going wild. Gonna pop the Primal Rage. Steel falls. This is looking really good for Chambersburg. With the spawn advantage, they have to stick the landing, and the cart still has a way to go, so Penn Manor, if they don't stagger this out too badly, they can make this work. Actually, nobody is pushing the cart right now.
Yeah, half their team is dead. Everyone except for...
Everyone was invested in trying to win that fight. They all pushed forward into the spawn. They forgot about the cart. They're going to... Penn Manor, they're still going to have like 2 more fights here.
I mean, very, very good hold from Penn Manor, I think, with the Mercy ult and Shoot'em's ult. I think they'll be able to do some really good damage. Squidderps is about to get taken down, but he backs off and he gets healed. But it doesn't matter. He still gets taken down. Night PK. So much damage. Padfoot Mooney gets his own kill. Tech also gets another one.
Something really small that happened off screen that I really want to highlight is you can see Nortnite currently has that EMP and had it, you know, towards the middle of that fight or was building up to it. I was going to say watch out for Nortnite with the EMP, but they chipped the Sombra down so low to 1 HP that Nortnite was forced to translocate out and could not use the EMP. While he was gone, Squidderps got completely melted, and at that point, you can't invest a fight-winning ultimate like that. They have to reassess. They'll have it for this next fight, but Penn Manor, they bought themselves time to have a plan B.
It might not even matter with still having a Suzu.
Just cleanse the whole thing if it's big. It's a great point.
They're gonna have to use it now.
They just delete Nortnite! Night Pika just hits Nortnite mid-EMP. Everyone else from Chambersburg going in.
Does not get the stick, though. That's going to be a waste of a bomb. He goes in. He duplicates Tracer. Tech takes out Judy Rules. Steel takes out Moon 3. It won't matter. They can't take the point even now.
Tech just comes up clutch there. And it's also the duplicate from Shoot'em. Everybody from Penn Manor, they want this championship, and they look like it. Is there even going to be a touch from Chambersburg? It looks like, yeah, it is going to be Nortnite coming in with a last-second touch there. The translocator is gone. Squidderps jumps in, but jumps right into a Death Blossom and an Annihilation from Tech. You don't want to stay on this point. The floor is very much so lava right now, and that's going to be Penn Manor cooking on the flames there, holding at the end of point B. Chambersburg looking a little bit shook.
I don't even know what to say. That was such a good hold. Chambersburg took that with 2-3 minutes on the clock left.
Yeah, it was lightning fast.
Yeah, and then as soon as they got it into this choke point, they just couldn't take it. They could not get enough utility onto the field to take out Chambersburg. They would take out 1, 2, maybe even 3 people, and they still couldn't get everyone dead.
And I think it goes back to that one fight that we did see Chambersburg win there on point B, where they forced Penn Manor back. They kept finding the pickoffs time and time again, but everybody was pushed up to try and press the advantage there, which is smart, kinda. You still have to leave at least one person back to keep the cart progress going, and they forget that. They make that crucial mistake, and that just means Penn Manor, they can just leverage the spawn advantage infinitely until you take it away from them, and Chambersburg were never able to completely take it away from them.
It does seem like they're going to all be going away from that dive comp and focusing more on just playing back, trying to get early picks, which I think that Penn Manor will probably do better on.
I do think it's smart to try and move away from the dive, though, because again, who was Squidderps jumping on top of? It was usually Padfoot Mooney, which isn't a reliable dive target, because she usually will have the Guardian Angel to just fly away and find another safe place to hang out. Shunem was on the Ash for parts of that, but once Shunem went on the Echo, it was okay, who are we diving, boys? Where are we dropping?
Yeah. And I don't know what's going to happen now. They have Tech being damage boosted, but he doesn't get any damage off of that. They're still playing back. They're not really rushing. And everyone knows, we cannot peek each other, and they're not peeking each other. They're just sitting back, they're getting a little bit of damage, and Penn Manor will push up a little bit, but Tech is about to die, but he gets killed. He's got Moon 3 is doing pretty good damage. He's getting damaged a little bit, but not anymore.
There's going to be quite the brawl between Squidderps and Tech here. Nortonite with an early pick off there onto Shunem is going to stifle Penn Manor's progress just a little bit. The res, it will be available, but right now Padfoot Mooney attached to the hip of Tech can spare a moment to get that res off, and now we're back at equilibrium here. But with that res off the field, Shunem can't really play too aggressive there, and Nortonite actually going to take down Padfoot Mooney with a headshot there.
Gets traded, but the res comes out to save Moon 3. Vengeance also gets taken down. Some big damage right there. JL Rules is also getting taken out by Shunem, and it's just a big thing. Moon 3 gets taken down, Neat Pika gets taken down, Squidderps gets taken down, but even after that, Squidderps get a kill from the grave onto Steel, and Nortonite also gets taken down, and that looks like that's just going to be Penn Manor taking the first point.
That was just the Hanzos, Nortonite and Night Pika TV back and forth, seeing who can get the higher value pick off there. But if you ask me, it was the one that came out onto Vengeance, specifically the other healer, because the res was already off the field. You're negating most of the value that the Mercy gives you outside of the damage boost. If you take down the Ana, there goes all the healing. You can't sustain your tank any longer, and everything just collapses from there.
Yeah, and then there were still even trays after that, though. That was the first person dead, but they were still able to keep it up. That's why Chambersburg is such a good team, because both of their DPS are able to self-sustain themselves without any supports.
Nortonite going to go ahead and swap off of the Hanzo. Actually built up to the Dragon Strike and is going to completely not use it at all, just toss it down the drain. Doesn't feel like they're going to get enough value out of it, but they're going to get a ton of value out of this Nano coming out from Squidderps. Great Vortex there from Tech to stop the Junker Queen from walking forward. She's going to be building up to a Rampage here, but I think Penn Manor, they're aware of it, and Steel is going to be ready with that Suzu.
Tech is diving top, but the Bob does come out, but he will get no value.
Oh no, it got value. It found Padfoot Mooney.
Yeah,
that's the best.
Padfoot does get taken down.
That's the highest value you could possibly ask for such a simple ultimate like a Bob. And yeah, Tech on the back foot, Night Pika gonna get cleaned up there, and that's a great hold from Chambersburg. They finally dug their heels in.
There we go, but they already took the first point, so not enough damage, not too soon.
Yeah, we're sitting at kind of a similar situation to where the the first round was, where now it's going to have to be on Penn Manor after that quick first point take to try and take this from Chambersburg. They're going to go ahead and invest the Dragon Strike. They have some other ults in the bank to try and utilize. but they want to use this Dragon Strike just to be able to clear out high ground and give themselves a clear path up to the top where they're going to take this fight. Great Dynamite from Moon 3, going to put out a lot of damage, but the Kitsune Rush and the Valkyrie both come out.
Vengeance also gets taken down and by Shunam.
Yeah, and Tech also popped the Annihilation, so everybody from Chambersburg clears off the high ground. Penn Manor now have complete control over it. Moon 3 going to try and go up to the high ground to take it back, and does take down Night Pika. That's a great way to take it back. I believe the res is going to be there, but in the meantime, yeah, no one was healing Shunam. The ults come out from Chambersburg. That's a good hold.
That is, yeah, the Squid Derps has just like finalized that, taking down 2. And North Knight will also get taken a res.
I mean, the fact that Penn Manor, by the way, they invested pretty much everything save for the Bob, which they didn't have. But the fact that they invested so heavily in that shows the value that this high ground gives you. And once Chambersburg was able to take it back, specifically once Moon 3 was able to take it back, Penn Manor just didn't really have an answer. And by then, they've used all their ults. You know, they just kind of crumble. They have time to build back up to something, but they need to build back up to something.
Moon 3 taken out. They're probably going to go for a res. I don't know if they're going to watch for that, make sure they don't. But it doesn't look like they can at this point.
And they have to keep their eyes on J-Rule, see if the res does come out. Doesn't look like it's going to.
Already uses as a nano.
Oh, Tech is going to fall there. Yeah, a nano onto North Knight, just going to melt the enemy tank. That is not what you want to see when you're on tank, is a nano-boosted Reaper walking right at you.
Gets taken out by Shunam, and he won't go for the res.
That's a bit of a feat, and the res comes out onto Tech. I mean,
that could just be what they needed to win this game.
Yeah, they're back at full strength. They take out North Knight as well. That is way too deep for anyone to go for a res. They take down Shunam there, but that can be resed. Oh, but they lose Night Pika. All right. Sophie's choice now, Padfoot Mooney. Once you have that res back, if you have time, because you did just use it on Tech, will you be able to bring back one of your DPS? It looks like no. So Tech just going to push the cart, will fall, get a little bit closer to that golden box of victory, but now we're closer to where Chambersburg has that spawn advantage.
Are we saying this is last fight territory, or no?
I mean, Penn Manor, if they make this first one quick, realistically, they have 2 fights in them, but that's only if they don't expend all 5 ultimates.
I think they just dump all ults and just win this fight. I think that's the way to do it here. Because Squid Derps, you know, he has his ult, but it won't even affect Mercy if she's in the air, and then she can just damage boost the rest of them, and nothing even matters.
If they're going to invest all 5 ults, they have to win this fight, because they're not going to get another chance at this. They're going to go ahead and invest the Bob. That's a great nade from Vengeance. Hits 3, the Rampage comes out to confirm it. Shunam does fall, despite investing the Bob. The Dragon Strike and the Nano all came out, but it's Chambersburg that's coming ahead in the fight here. Tech with the Annihilation finds 2, and this might be enough to get their foot in the door.
Mercy's about to die, but he gets back. Moon 3 gets taken out, he goes for more, and he gets more!
Tech is getting so much work done, but look at how far back the cart is, though. Chambersburg still has the spawn advantage, and they're going to have the Valkyrie, they're going to have the Death Blossom. Squidderp's going to swap over the Doomfist to get another touch here. The cavalry from Penn Manor is just now coming back. Here's the reinforcements. They have to stick the landing here up against this Death Blossom, and they just can't. North Knight deletes the backline.
It looks like the tank is about to die, but no, Tech gets taken down first.
We're into OT here now. Shunam has to try and be the hero.
He needs more.
He's looking for something. He wants a backliner or he wants Moon 3, but with the Mercy Pocket, he can't quite get it. Tech is forced to swap to the Wrecking Ball to get a touch. Night Pika going to go ahead and touch the grave there. North Knight is on fire right now. Steel hanging on by a thread. Falls. Shunam not far behind. The Wrecking Ball is there to touch, but it's all just a formality at this point.
Doesn't matter.
The Bob comes in. Night Pika trying to find something, but yeah, there's just too much sheer manpower from Chambersburg right now, and that's where the cart stops. Chambersburg
2 meters off of that.
With a slightly better hold than Penn Manor will take Blizzard World.
That was so close. I think that if they were on attack first, they would have won that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Chambersburg looked really strong there. I mean, Penn Manor looked very strong as well. Both these teams looked pretty evenly matched, but it just kind of comes down to that spawn advantage and the fact that, yeah, we see this big play here from Tech. That was kind of the big moment that Penn Manor had, but it was just him and I think a support trying to keep him alive to keep that pressure up. Similar to Chambersburg, no one was pushing the cart, but this time, because no one was alive to, but they can't clean it up the rest of the way. And by the time anyone comes back to help out Tech with that, Chambersburg, they're back at full strength. Suddenly you have to fight off the entire horde again. Dog rounds up next. What do? You just kind of have to keep going. It's just tower defense, and they can't keep it up. They crumble at the midnight hour there.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but does that make this our first ever not 3-0 this tonight?
I think it does, actually. I think, the match we casted earlier was a 3-0.
And
Yeah,
the
Upper
other
St.
match,
Clair
I'm
3-0'd.
pretty sure was a 3-0.
Well, the other match was Chambersburg, so yeah, they 3-0'd.
No, the other match, like the one that we didn't cast.
Yeah, the one that we didn't cast. Yeah, we didn't cast Chambersburg's last match, and they 3-0'd their team quite convincingly. That's why, one of the first things I said when we came in today was like Chambersburg haven't dropped a map, because you told me up in the qualifiers up to this point and throughout the tournament bracket they didn't drop a map.
They never.
It was
they dropped one map that I remember.
Okay,
but even then,
all right,
like completely before that. That was like 4 or 5 weeks ago now. But like still, I don't even think that like they can. I don't even know, because if they lose here, that requires them to lose push. And I think with their team comp that they run, I think they'd be great on push. They run a really good dive, and push is all dive.
I mean, they don't necessarily have to lose push. If we go to 5 maps and they just, Penn Manor look as dominant on control as they do, that might be what makes the difference for them. That's kind of the advantage, by the way, that comes with winning the first map. That, like, yeah, you get the loser's map pick every time, but if you flip it back and forth every time, you're going to get the loser's map pick on control again. You get to go to a map you're comfortable with, and you can take it home. So Penn Manor, despite falling to Chambersburg and losing some momentum there, they still have the advantage in a series like this with the loser's map pick. But Chambersburg, like I said, they've dug their heels in the ground. They have the momentum now.
Yeah, I don't know. Escort's going to be fun. I'd like to see a nice, good pick. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think it would be really nice to see these two teams facing off on Shambali Monastery, because that's a new map, and both these teams love playing high ground. We've seen that, and I think that would be a really fun matchup to see.
Well, ask and you shall receive.
It is him,
because we just got the notification, and there it is on your screen. The next map is going to be Shambali Monastery. You should probably buy a lottery ticket, I think, because your guessing skills phenomenal. Shambali Monastery. Yeah, we're probably going to see a lot more of the Ashe if that's what we're going. We might see some more of the Ramatra, potentially Sigma coming out here. Shambali is another kind of like an oddball in terms of the escort. You have something a little bit more clean cut like a Rialto. Shambali just kind of throws that out the window. We're going to get a lot more poke here, potentially some rush. It can go any way, actually.
Honestly, I'm thinking we're going to get a lot of poke from both sides this entire game. No dive, no anything, just a bunch of freaking poke. And I think that Chambersburg will take it. Penn Manor comes back game 4, and then Chambersburg will probably lose the 5th since they lost on the first control.
And your prediction? You're revising the Chambersburg 3-0 prediction. Now it's Penn Manor 3-2. We're flipping the script. All right, well, we also have a little bit of intel here that it is going to be Chambersburg starting off on the defense here. So, we'll start to see once we get into the map and once we start things off here what they do end up coming out here with. But I think that kind of plays to some of their strengths. And if we see echoes of what we saw on Blizzard World, where, again, Chambersburg being on the defensive first, that might be the play. Or no, sorry, it was Chambersburg on the defensive second. Yeah, completely ignore what I just said. Yeah, I've gaslit you all. I've led you astray. I apologize. Chambersburg going to be on the defensive first this time around, so flipping it around. I want to see what Penn Manor comes out with here on the attack here. If they decide to try and go for maybe a dive to dislodge the high ground that Chambersburg is inevitably going to be playing from, or if they want to take just a simple brawl here. And it looks like they're flashing the latter of the two right now with the attacker spawn.
They will be running a Sigma comp, which I am a big fan of. I love Sigma. And we haven't seen Sigma all day, so that's really cool for me to see. And I think it's also really cool that they're putting North Knight on the Soldier 76, Moon 3 on the Ashe. It's going to be really good for some poke comps. The only problem is Shunem will be on Widow, and Widow into Soldier. If the Soldier is like peeking out a little bit too far, he will get his head popped off.
It's not so much the Soldier that I'm worried about, because even if North Knight gets decapitated by Shunem, it's J-Rule that is going to be the one with the target on her forehead there, that Mercy. If Shunem gets the Mercy, then it's kind of all over for Chambersburg, because you're likely going to have the pocket onto the Ashe or potentially onto the Soldier. There are options there, but that all goes down the drain if J-Rule falls. Ditto for Padfoot Mooney as well, but less so because of the attacker's spawn advantage currently. As we get later on, she's going to have a little bit more of a target on her back, but it is actually going to be Penn Manor trying to take the stairs approach and take the fight to Chambersburg on the high ground.
Shunim will get taken down already by Moon 3 being pocketed by Paptu Muni, but they're doing like a 3v5 by the looks of it in this hard corner. They do not have the entire attacker with them. The entire defense is there. They need to get more organized because I don't know where the rest of the attackers are, but it always looks like it's just 2 or 3 fighting them all.
I think the issue with Shunim being on the widow there was where Chambersburg was playing. Shunim could not have gotten an angle and wasn't contributing so much to the brawl. So Penn Manor, they're just not able to dislodge Chambersburg. But swapping over to the May, they're putting in a little bit more pressure, and I think Chambersburg are fully aware of it because they're going to backpedal a little bit around this first corner, give up a little bit of cart progress for free, and play somewhere where it's a little bit more advantageous, where they're less likely to just get walled off and isolated. So very smart play coming out here from Chambersburg. Meanwhile, Penn Manor, they're respecting the damage that Squidderps can put down with these orbs.
It does look like they're forcing Chambersburg to just back off a little bit, which honestly I think is so good because as soon as this happens, because I was about to say, like, as soon as Squidderps is like a little bit past points, Shunim's just going to destroy him. But it will happen, except he does not get taken out due to Vengeance and JR Rule's nice utility usage. Moon 3 will be pocketed and trying to get damage. They will have the ult come out for the Sigma, and it won't matter though. He gets no kills. Still gets a lot of damage. Moon 3's Bob takes out Shunim, and they're just... They couldn't even take the point.
That got a little scary there for Chambersburg for a second, losing Nortonite that early in the fight. And the wall that came out to isolate Squidderps there meant that J-Rule couldn't detach themselves from the tank. They had to try and pour all the resources into keeping Squidderps alive, so there was no time to try and break off and go for the res. And Penn Manor were almost able to press that advantage, and it forced Chambersburg to have to invest 2 of their ultimates in order to do it. Penn Manor, they're going to have this Dragon Strike to open things up and a Blizzard from Shunim, and Tech has already struck
so
blood.
Damage.
Yeah, Squidderps getting frozen up, getting melted down there by Shunim.
Taking out first point now.
Yeah, that's going to be Penn Manor capping first point with 3:43 in the time bank. Plenty of time to keep it all rolling, and they get the annihilation. Chambersburg have a sizable ult bank here, but I think Penn Manor have enough time to bleed that dry and then press their advantage.
I don't even know if their ult bank is going to matter, because if they use Vengeance Soul, Tech can just run in there with a Ramatra ult and just, I don't know, get him.
We saw Tech do exactly that to a Baptiste in the first series of the day, so that's definitely a possibility. Here comes the MH, because it's actually going to be Tech holding the S key backing up here.
I think he might just do it right now, because he knows they're all together right now.
Yeah, and the res is off the field as well. That's Night Pika just deletes Moon 3 again. Yeah, res him again, I dare you, says Night Pika. Gonna go up and try and take down that pesky Mercy, but with no res, J-Rule's got no business being there. Here comes the Annihilation, gonna force everyone back. Immortality field gone. Everybody from Penn Manor holding down W. Squidderps, I mean, the Valkyrie from J-Rule is just a formality trying to keep Squidderps alive. The Sigma falls. Penn Manor, they're threatening to cap point B.
It's just too hard. Chambersburg has no ultimates left, except for Squidderps. But even that, I don't even think they can get much off of that. Because, like, what are they going to do? Use Nortonite to try and combo that? I don't even think that's going to work, due to Night Pika being able to do the same thing. And they have the Mercy ult too. Like, this is going to be so hard for Chambersburg to get back into this game. But Tech will fall. So maybe this will give them something. I don't know.
It might. Going for a res on your tank is really hard because there's no one to really hold the space and stop the enemy team from engaging you. So you saw Chambersburg just come in like vultures to try and push the rest of Penn Manor back and not allow Padfoot Mooney to go for that res. But it's okay. The spawn is right there. They still have the spawn advantage until the cart gets around this second corner. Then it will be firmly in Chambersburg's court. They've got time to build up to more ultimates. Night Peak can go ahead and invest that Dragon Strike to try and force Chambersburg back, but here comes the Gravitic Flux and the duplicate coming out. Gonna duplicate the Hanzo.
Never mind, he was at 1 HP for a little bit.
It's the pocket coming out from J-Rule, keeping him alive, but the Blizzard from Shunim might be what just sends this one home, and Tech gonna pummel anything left standing. And Penn Manor, this cart keeps rolling.
Looks like we're in last fight territory here. Chambersburg needs to win this if they want to have another chance at getting them to not cap this point. But they have the steal, but they're going against Vengeance, who almost has his, and at this point, they're gonna have to stay on the point. If Vengeance uses his, it's gonna be too hard.
Yeah, well, like, what are you gonna do into this Kitsune Rush? Nort Knight, not much. You're just gonna go ahead and fall when Night Pika with a Pocketed Mercy takes you on down there. Vengeance is forced to pop the Amp Matrix. J-Rule getting criminally low there. Isn't quite cleaned up, but in the meantime, Vengeance is. Immortality Field gone. Moon 3 gone. Tech Annihilation on the field, cooking them, and that's gonna be a cap for Penn Manor with 2 minutes of the time bank. That doesn't sound like a lot, but on Shambali Monastery, that might as well be a calendar year.
Yeah, that. I don't even think Chambersburg can even win at this point. I think this is just Penn Manor's game. 2 minutes is crazy.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far because it's payload. You can always see some overtime pushes, but you're not entirely wrong either because it's very difficult. I think even if usually you don't even see Shambali Monastery getting full capped. We see the cart stall out so much on point A, on point B, and if you get to point C, it'll often stall out before it gets capped. That's just the nature of this map. It's very, very defender-sided. Chambersburg, I think if they finish, it might be an OT, and they're going to be at a time bank disadvantage. I don't see them matching or beating this time bank.
Oh yeah, no way. I think at most they're going to win this with 1 minute on the clock.
Yeah.
And that's going to be including the time that they're going to get to make it 1 minute.
And they're going to have to find, pull a rabbit out of their hat to do it. They're going to have to try and find magic, or, some lightning in a bottle to make it happen. Because after a push like that, if you're Penn Manor, you are feeling yourself. The momentum that Chambersburg took from you on Blizzard World, gone. Penn Manor have it right now. They can continue to leverage it. And I like their comp to do it. Just that Ramatra rush with the Hanzo to find the angles and with the Mei to isolate. I'm not too crazy about the Junker Queen and the Ashe comp over on the side of Chambersburg, though.
I don't know what they're going to do here from Chambersburg, but I think that this is going to be a big... Oh,
they've already lost Moon 3. Yeah, get out. Yeah, turn around. Pop a Yui there.
You know what? They get J-Rules. You res him. We're good.
I mean, you get the res, but you're like 6 feet from the spawn. That's not a very high-value res, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I would have let him die, but...
Yeah, and Chambersburg, they're not even going to try and take the high ground now. Because they had to double back for that, they just want to take the fight on the cart. So Penn Manor, they have this whole high ground to play with right now, and no one is taking them down from it. Squidward's going to go ahead and use a knife to yank Tech off of it, but now he's just in your face, pummeling you to death, forces the ice block out from Nort Knight.
In ice blocks.
It's going to be Squidward's falling. The support wasn't there. And that's a great first fight hold from Penn Manor.
I don't even know what's Chambersburg even going to do at this point. They have to change something.
I mean, they had the right idea at the first point. If you're going to play the Junker Queen into the Ramatra, you have to take the brawl to the Ramatra, so you have to go up on the high ground. You can't just let the enemy team have this high ground advantage, but they can't be losing people on the way in, and they can't be doubling back. They're still trying to play here on the cart, but look where Shunim is. Shunim can just wall everybody else off. Yeah, and Squidward is just stuck out on an island by himself. Gonna be forced to break down the wall once it falls, get back with the team, but Nort Knight is lost in the process.
Shunim almost has his. He'll be able to ult this and get so much value if he wants to, but it doesn't seem like he does. Looks like they're trying to go for a left-hand play, trying to get some new strategies in here, but I don't know how well that's going to work with the ice or blizzard thing.
The problem with where the cart is right now is there's not really any way that Chambersburg can go that they're not susceptible to an ice wall and a blizzard coming in, and this is a very dangerous place. They force the ice block out early. That could be huge. The blizzard comes out, though. Nort Knight falls, trying to make a hero play, and Shunim is gotten everybody frozen up in there, but doesn't look like Penn Manor's actually able to press the advantage. Night Pika gonna take down Moon 3 there. A Bob was invested, does fall, and that's an ult down the drain for Chambersburg. No.
It kind of looked like because he was advancing towards them, but...
No, I mean, if you're Penn Manor right now, you don't have to.
You don't need to do anything. You can sit there.
They can be proactive with their ults, but they can also afford to just be like, okay, Chambersburg, make me use this ult. If you want me to use this Annihilation, force it out of me, because I'm just going to stand here and continue to be supported by my team while you're getting isolated, cut off, and dissected by Shunim right now. And, what are you going to do about it? Force me to use this ult, says Tech, and no one's forcing him right now.
They tried to go top, but they just all said, no, we're going to keep you off. This is our high ground. Moon 3 does take out Seal, though. Nort Knight also will get taken out, so it's a nice trade there. Squidward is blocked off on high ground. He gets very low, though, 200 HP. There's a lot of things. Annihilation will get popped, but the Nano comes out onto Squidward. They also have a nice Nano back on Tech. Moon 3 takes out Shunam with a Mercy pocket, but Mercy will get almost taken out, and he does. Squid Derps is doing really good work here, but Vengeance will take out Tech. That looks like some really good damage there. Will they be able to take out Point? I think they might.
That's a great play, by the way, from Padfoot Mooney to stay alive that long and you continue to pocket Tech, who was very low in that annihilation, almost tossed it down the drain, but Padfoot Mooney able to keep Tech alive and even dodge some of the plays coming up from Squidderps. By the time that squad actually falls there, that little two-man duo, Moon had already been pushing the cart, and they're threatening to cap here. Nortnite in the back, building up to a Death Blossom, might not even need it if he can find a big pick off there, and it might just be Tech, who is anti-healed, got the arms up.
He's getting so much healing. He's already back to full. How?
And Shunam has a Blizzard.
That takes out Squid Derps.
That's just a full 4-man engage onto Squidderps there. Nortnite has the Death Blossom, is going to pop it, but Tech going to punch him. It's overtime. Chambersburg, they have to invest.
Res, though.
They have to invest. They do get the res. They do have Squidderps back in the fight, but like it's overtime. Moon 3 forced to pop the visor, but there's no Mercy left to pocket. But he's gonna find two. He finds the enemy Mercy, finds Night Pika. Tech gonna go ahead and take him out. Someone has to deal with Tech. Big anti-nade coming out from Vengeance. They just have to try and melt it. Shunam is back though. Shunam takes down Vengeance. Shunam is still alive, still lurking. They have to dislodge this Tracer now.
You can get it though. It's a tank versus the DPS, and the DPS dies.
They finally take him down. That's going to be the cap coming up from Chambersburg, but it's nail-bitingly close right now for Chambersburg. They're not matching Penn Manor's time bank. No shot.
They can't. I don't even think it's even possible at this point. Because it's going to take them like a minute to get through this point, and then they have a minute and 15 against their 2:16.
I'd chop a minute off that time bank right now, because Tech has that annihilation again, and that's going to buy time for Penn Manor. That's going to cost time for Chambersburg. They have to find something. A Nano and a Rampage? Maybe, but they need a minute to get up to that. Great Knight going to go ahead and come out.
Into them. Max off. Oh my god, that Nano's gonna be huge. He takes out Shunam. He brings him back in. Tech's gonna get taken out. And oh my god, that takes all of them and just says, no thank you, you're gonna be with me now.
That was the play. That could not have been more huge, more clutch than what they just did right there. That Nano coming out, Squidderp taking all of the space with it. The Suzu from Steel came out early and Squidderp says it's go time. Hits the Rampage, takes down everybody. Chambers
point.
They don't have a whole lot else, but they're gonna find. Oh, that's a late stagger onto Tech. Yeah, that's the point. Chambersburg, they're still cooking. They're not out of the woods yet, but they're not out of the fight either.
They actually might just be able to make this huge comeback from complete overtime first point to matching this time bank even like within a minute.
I mean, it will be close. I mean, Penn Manor will still have the advantageous time bank no matter what. Yeah, but like, I mean, finishing it all would be the first start for Chambersburg. The thing I'm worried about though is Tech still has that annihilation. We talked about chopping a minute off the time bank if he gets to pop it, and Chambersburg knows it. They haven't let him pop it. They're going to use the Bob to try and keep try and build a little bit of space and maybe give Tech the advantage. And here we go, Kitsune Rush and Annihilation.
Their rules already gets taken down along with Nortlight.
Everybody just backs up.
3 also gets taken down by Tech. Well, it's just popping 40.
And they're afraid to engage when Tech has the annihilation up. Everybody just backs up, and now Penn Manor have stalled the cart out here. We're under 2 minutes. Chambersburg have time to build up to something, but yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Their momentum is now gone. They have to build something back up.
Penn Manor will be going in with Night Pika and the Mercy ult. We'll see if those are two of their weaker ults on this field. I think they could do some decent util.
Nano Visor going to come out. Moon 3 is going to be looking for targets to find. Tech is very low and anti-healed. No one can save him. And Moon 3 does finally clean him up and takes Night Pika down as well. Nortnite lurking in the back room with a Death Blossom. The Sleep Dart to prevent the res. That is huge. Steel is 1 HP. This should be the cap. I think Chambersburg have it. There's no one left for Penn Manor to touch. That's a cap with a minute and 12. This map's close.
That was crazy. They went from overtime to 2:30. To leaving that game with a minute and 20 seconds or 12 seconds. That maybe they were just like sleeping that first half, like they were just like, hey, we're just trying to sit here, we're not trying to do much, and then they were like, all right, it's attack time. Now is our time to shine and show we're the best.
I mean, even before we got to that overtime situation, I would not have given Chambersburg more than a minute with capping. Yeah. The fact that they cap it all is incredible, considering the fact that, again, we were in OT at the first point here. That's not a common occurrence, when you're looking at the way these matches usually shake out here. So, I mean, Chambersburg, good on them. But now they're going to go on to their second attack here in overtime. They only have a minute to try and make something happen, and it's going to be an offensive Sigma composition. Oh, no, sorry. They are going to lean back over to that Junker Queen. So, I mean, same thing as before. Penn Manor were able to bleed a lot of time with the comp they're rocking right now. Like, what does Chambersburg have to do differently in order to stay alive here? Because they don't have as much time as they did before.
I think Chambersburg, I think their game plan here is just going to be, we're going to target Steel. That's what they need to do. If they target Steel, then they can't anti-Squid Derps. Squid Derps gets to do whatever he wants, and he will do whatever he wants.
I mean, that really is the play also. And by the way, Steel swapped over to the off the Kiriko onto the Ana. If Squid Derps builds up to a Rampage, there's no Suzu anymore.
Yeah.
That's going to be just a fight win here. That might be a compositional error, a little bit of a mistake from Penn Manor, unless they're able to find enough value to offset that risk there. So a gamble for Penn Manor coming out. They're going to have to try and dislodge Squid Derps. The wall comes out. They can't find the kill here, and it might actually be Shoot 'em. Wait, Shoot 'em takes down North Knight. How?
It won't matter, though, because he's in his ice block with Squid Derps right next to him, so he's able to get traded right away. Moon 3 also does get taken down on the defense. It's going to take him a little bit to get back in. JL Rules also gets taken down. And Manor.
Yeah, Penn Manor, they're still holding strong here. Squid Derps is just kind of trapped right now. They know he's there, and he can't quite get back to his team. The team has to come to him. North Knight does kind of regroup with Squid Derps, and now they're trying to poke their heads out here. We're at 12 seconds left. Chambersburg does not have a single tool in their ult bank. They have nothing major. They have to just try and go and make a play in the neutral. But they've lost Moon, and they've lost Squid Derps.
Off, and he gets destroyed by Tech. Tech says, "Let me punch you."
Oh, and punch them he does. It's going to be a Dragon Strike on the point. North Knight going to use the Wraith Form to try and stay alive. Takes down Night PIEA, but they've lost Vengeance. North Knight falls. No one left to touch. A wall from Shoot 'em is going to make sure that no one else can get to the cart. And that's where all of Chambersburg hopes for Shambali Monastery will be laid to rest for now. Penn Manor, they got about the length of a Taco Bell drive-thru to go to win this map.
You know, I think that the Chambersburg hope morale right now. I think they're all thinking, you know what, we go GG, go next, and they're gonna have to come back round 4 here because 2 minutes 16. That's not a low amount of time.
I mean, I've seen some crazy plays, some crazy defensive holds on Shambali Monastery, so it's not impossible. I don't know if I'd fully say GG go next. Oh no, I've seen it closer than this, to be completely honest with you. But if you're going to be the one to defend, you really have to have that dog in. You really have to be him. You have to be them. You have to be everybody. And, I mean, Chambersburg, I'm not saying they can't. I'm saying that's the bar. That's what you have to do if you want to hold this. Or, you know, like you said, they could just, you know, no, we're not holding this. GG go next. And try and focus on their map pick and making sure they get the dub on push.
Good point, yeah.
I think short term, you can't think too far ahead. You have to focus on the task at hand and try and get this hold as best you can. And if nothing else, go down swinging.
I'm thinking, you know what, we see what happens here, and we're going to hopefully see some really good plays from Chambersburg to try and hold this for a decent amount of time.
Squid Derps still holding on to that Junker Queen. That seems to be what they really like to play here on Shambali. And, I mean, there was that one really good Rampage, but saving that, there hasn't been much. And you're right, they're not playing high ground. They're playing at the Golden Box of Victory. They're staking everything on one fight, and they've already lost North Knight. That fight might have already come and gone. They take down Night PIEA, but is that enough?
Looks like they're going for the res.
They get the res.
It won't matter because Pablo already gets taken down.
Oh, they lose Moon 3. Squid Derps is low. Squid Derps falls. There's no one else left to hold. Supports have to try and dip set, but they can't because no one's contesting the card.
Moon 3's gonna have to make some ridiculous. Northernight's gotta make some more ridiculous plays.
Just trying his best, but gets nanoed on the way in. Yeah, GG's. Done and dusted. Penn Manor. Confused me. That was Penn Manor, definitely, not CHS. I'm sorry, just CHS fans. That was Penn Manor that definitely took that map. They're gonna go up 2-1 here. Chambersburg, it's gonna be their map pick, but like, you know, what do you do? Because I mean, on a comp like this with the Junker Queen, you get plays like this, but it wasn't consistent. And the Ramatra comp that Penn Manor was playing seemed to get the better of them more often than not.
Yeah, You know what I just remembered, actually? Not only did Chambersburg not lose a single game in the main season, they also never lost. Not Penn Manor also never lost a game in the main season. Both of these teams, whoever loses this would be their first loss in PIEA this year.
I mean, if you're gonna lose at any point in time, it's got to be in the grand finals, right? Like, if you're gonna take your first L anywhere else, like you're not delivering the season that was promised. Both these teams are firing on all cylinders right now. They're showing that they want this. I mean, the graphic I still question here. Yeah, there we go. We got it. Okay, cool. So that it is indeed Penn Manor up 2-1. Chambersburg. It is their map pick on push. They only got 3 options here. Esperanca is going to be the one that they choose, and I'm honestly not surprised because I mean, Esperanca just kind of feels like the favorite for a lot of people as far as push goes.
The only map that at least I've seen being played for push in this season for PIA that's only happened one time. It was New Queen Street. So I want to see what these teams would even attempt to try for this. I'd like to see a ball comp come out. I don't know if it would, but that's like my hope here. I think it would be really cool, but
that would be cool, but I don't know if a ball comp is what you want to pull out in like the grand finals when you've been playing this long.
So...
If we haven't seen it and it's not something that they've scrimmed or practiced, as cool as it would be, I don't know that that's what's going to come out here. I have my doubts.
But
call me New Mexico because I'm full of reservations about that.
I don't know. I mean, Chambersburg, they have to win this. If they want to have a chance of bringing this back, they got to win here.
Yeah, it's match point for Penn Manor. They don't really have much choice. And again, Chambersburg, regardless of whether or not they win it, they're still behind the 8 ball because if Chambersburg wins this, control is Penn Manor's map pick. Again, they can play into their own hand and walk into somewhere where they have the advantage. And, look at Oasis, where they didn't even really have the advantage.
Yeah.
And they just walked away with that one.
I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see a Sigma come out and a Junker Queen. I feel like there's definitely going to be a Junker Queen from Chambersburg at some point because they've been running it. They've been doing good with it. But I don't know what Penn Manor would run. Are they just going to keep with their Ramatra comp? Are they going to swap it up to try and do something new? I don't know what they're going to plan, but we're going to see what they do here.
I think Ramatra and Junker Queen are pretty solid predictions here, and I kind of agree. That's what I think we might see, but there's still 10 seconds plus the spawn timers for these teams to surprise us, so who really knows? But I mean, regardless, again, I cannot stress this enough. Chambersburg, not only is it match point for Penn Manor, it's attacker spawn. I see you getting excited. Don't get debating. Don't take the bait here.
I gotta take the bait.
There's no shot Penn Manor's walking out with Lucio, Zenyatta, Bastion, and Wrecking Ball.
I have to hope that they keep They're gonna... Night Peak is gonna... Oh, okay.
Yeah,
wait. Tech hasn't swapped.
How? Okay.
No!
How...
He baited me. He heard me. I'm 100%.
Hook, line, and sinker, you took the bait there for Tech. I mean, and yeah, exactly what you... wholeheartedly, honestly predicted. It's the Junker Queen and the Ramatra, so not a whole lot changing. Interestingly enough, though, Shunim is back on that Echo, which again has been an absolute force of nature, and it's kind of up to Moon 3 to be the one to clip the wings.
Squidribs is being very aggressive right now. He's able to back up before getting killed, but they're able to take out Steel. It's a support dead, traded for North Knight, and Tech already gets taken. Now Penn Manor
that knife
is already on the back foot.
That knife onto Shunim there was so good. Shunim's going to have to take to the skies in order to try and stay alive, but the damage has already been done. The blood of Penn Manor has been struck, and Squidribs wants more of it, wants to spill it all over the floor here. Night Pika not going to get out alive. Moon 3 there to try and clean it up, and it looks like, yeah, Padfoot Mooney, thanks for coming. You're next on the chopping block, and it's time for the bot to get moving for Chambersburg.
So one-sided there. I think they got 1 kill on North Knight alone.
Just that 1 kill, and I mean, that's... Like you said, they traded that up for a support. You take that every day. I will happily trade a DPS for a support. That's a pawn for a rook.
Yeah.
And yeah, you take that any day of the week. But Not a whole lot of bot progress here, so Chambersburg, they still have some work to do. Penn Manor can still get their feet in the door, and Shunem might just have the boot for that in the form of a duplicate. Again, we've seen the magic he's been capable of with those. Chambersburg, they want to grow aggressive.
Will run his ult.
That's huge. It's a huge, and there's no Suzu because Steel went down early. Everyone just melts. The Rampage gets all the anti-healing.
That's their queen getting taken out with tech, but the queen gets brought back from a pawn with tech getting res.
With tech back on the field, like it's not done and dusted. Chambersburg, they still have to try and invest, make this happen. They're gonna invest the nano boost, but tech can just hold up the arms and try and stay alive. Moon 3 has the EMP, and they're gonna let that one rip, but Night Pika falls to a biotic grenade here. Shunem trying to get something done, trying to stop the onslaught. But the cap comes through. Checkpoint for Chambersburg. That's massive.
Penn Manor still has not gotten a single percentage. I don't even know if it's. They gotta get something. They have to change something in their comp or their strategies because right now they're not doing great here. North Knight's gonna get taken down, which might be that thing they needed.
Oh, that was just a little bit of over-aggression. The commanding shout came out. Yeah, with JL rule. That's okay. That's what they need.
Value.
They need to try and win this fight here because Chambersburg got the.
Looks like Tech's about to get taken out. No squid derps is by Shunem.
That's going to be the fight win for Penn Manor. But again, because Chambersburg got that checkpoint there, they're going to get some early spawns, potentially some split spawns here if Penn Manor get back to the middle stage here and flip it over there. You know, they're all going to get close spawns here. So like, Penn Manor can finally get a little bit of percentage, but I mean, Chambersburg, they can come right back into this. They're going to have the Rampage for it too. Another Rampage, by the way. Steel has to be aware of this.
Those look like a lot of ults are getting ran through. Both the supports on the side of Penn Manor have been dropped. So many. Night Pika uses his. There's almost no value. But Shunem takes out two. And Tech gets Squid Derps with his ult. Vengeance also dies to Shunem.
Yeah, Shunem, more like Shun him. He is him. With these duplicates, he's always coming up with the big kills. Diffing North Knight on the Reaper when he duplicates the Reaper. Absolutely insane. The problem is, Penn Manor, going into that fight, they had a full house of ultimates, and they royally flushed them all down the toilet to try and get that point cap here, which they might get the checkpoint here, but Chambersburg can go for another contest, and they have an EMP.
They will take it. EMP gets dropped. I think that Jail Rules will be able to drop the beat. Yes, because he takes out Shunem, and Tech also drops along with Night Pika. They res Tech, though.
Doesn't even...
No supports, just Tech, and Tech drops.
Doesn't even need to drop the beat. And they get the nano as well. And Penn Manor, they got zero, zap, zilch, nada, no ultimates, nothing to do. Shunem gonna swap over to the Mei. Tech gonna match the JQ. So now we're getting a little spicy here. Penn Manor, they're still gonna want to take this fight on the point here. But, I mean, with the beat in the back pocket, Chambersburg, like, they have the momentum. And they have the card advantage, too.
I do think that the Tech swap could be what they need to, like, make this comp work and just be able to destroy Penn Manor, although I don't think they're able to even win this fight, seeing as Squid Derps is destroying Tech. Steel also falls to North Knight. Moon 3 will get taken out, though, by Night Pika. What's happening? They try and go for the res, but it won't work. North Knight gets taken out, takes out Shunem.
That was JQD there, Junker Queen diff there from Squid Derps, and a very ambitious res attempt there from Padfoot Mooney, but, you know, when the fight's already kind of lost, a little bit more of a tactical reset to try and go for that one. It looks like... Alright, welcome back, everybody. We're getting right back into it. Moon 3 is back on the team, but not back in the fight, so it looks like Chambersburg are going to take a quick step back, give themselves time to regroup, and Penn Manor, they're going to take advantage of it. And by the way... Yeah, Rampage going to come out there from Squid Derps there, and yeah, Chambersburg, they're just going to follow it up with everything and just melt down Tech, melt down Padfoot Mooney, and they've got Moon back, so now they're pressing the advantage.
There's a lot they used all their ults there. They had, what, 4 to start with. They definitely have at least 4, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they've built up enough time, though, for Steel to build up to a nano boost, so there is still something of a lifeline available for Penn Manor, but they're going to need to use it. Or maybe they can just build Rod, because Shunem has gotten it lightning fast and is still pumping in the damage. They might actually be able to finish off Squid Derps here, and that would be massive if they're able to clean that one up. Everyone's just backing up. They're respecting it.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, that was so big.
Yeah, I mean, the nano came out. Everyone backed up. They take down North Knight. Look how far back Chambersburg is kiting this. They finally lose North Knight that deep back, but look how far back they're going. They don't want anything to do with Shoot 'em right now, knowing he's got this barrage, knowing he had the nano. They're respecting it so much, and Penn Manor, they've got control of the bot again.
It looks like he's going to take out Vengeance too. Never mind.
No, I'm gonna turn around.
And there it is. That takes out North Knight as that one.
I mean, and this is what Penn Manor needed. It might not have been the play they were hoping for, but yeah, Moon disconnecting, that's it ended up being what they needed. They've now got the checkpoint here, and this is where they have the forward spawns. They can start to match Chambersburg's progress and even potentially surpass it. They've built up an ult bank that's pretty respectable. They can keep this one going. They're going to have to try and counter Moon's EMP, but, I mean, if you weather that storm, you're good. You're in the clear.
Oh, that's been very difficult, though. He has 2 effects on him. But Tech does get taken down. Squidward's will get traded, though. That's no takes for anyone. JR Rules, but the Tech comes out. That's Penn Manor with another res. JR Rules is taken out, though. And North Knight also gets taken down. Such a good res, but Vengeance gets taken out by Shoot 'em with a punch from Barrett. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, the res and the fact that they're able to turn that fight is all crazy. That's great hero plays there from Padfoot, Moon, and Tech also coming back, making the presence felt there. But, I mean, you can't really push your advantage here. Look, the bot is completely stalled out. Everyone's trying to hold space. They have to back up a little bit. They can't match Chambersburg's progress without having the full squad here. Now that we're all back up, we can get people going. But
already.
In North
That's
Knight,
no hit scan still.
and look at where the checkpoint is. We're coming up on it. This might be Penn Manor actually flipping it and taking control. They might
And
lose.
that barrage could be crazy.
They take down Squidward. They don't even need the barrage for that, and they might take down JL Rules as well. I mean, look at, we're so close to the checkpoint here. We're so close to Penn Manor flipping it. Moon's forced to translocate out. Moon on low HP. There's no one else to contest it. Penn Manor, they have the lead now, and they have a nano and a barrage to help keep it going. Squidward has to be huge with this rampage. Chambersburg, they need a bailout right now. Nano, rampage.
He's gonna go for it.
But Shoot 'em gets the nano as well. There's no follow-up. Squidward takes down Steel. A nice barrage onto the street sign there. Gonna take down JL Rule, and they're gonna take down Squidward as well. Steel gets res. Penn Manor is still alive.
North Knight finally takes down Shoot 'em.
North Knight's
too late.
And North Knight lingers just a little bit too long, and now we're knocking at the door. With a minute left, Penn Manor might be able to full cap. They only have a Valkyrie to brute force this through. Chambersburg,
still gonna be big.
they're gonna invest the beat. North Knight's gonna come out a little bit later with attack visor, but isn't there quite yet. The aggression coming out from JL Rule. The Lucio looking for something, but is only gonna find a grave. A knife from Tech cleans the frog right up. Here comes the attack visor.
But he's anti!
Steel with the anti! They're not finding it up. Squidward with a couple of kills there. One of them's gonna get rezzed up. Shoot 'em is still alive, still a threat. This is getting really dicey. Chambersburg, they need it to be cleaner than this. They need to completely dislodge everyone from Penn Manor.
Wolf already gets taken by them. Shoot 'em. Tech uses the rampage.
It's huge. It's huge. They take down Vengeance though. Moon 3 gonna take down Shoot 'em, but it's not enough. North Knight falls as well. Everyone is low. Squidward's hanging on by a thread. Invest the rampage. The rampage might be enough.
Rampage gets Nitpicker.
Take down Night Pika. Squidward is still alive. They can't deal with Squidward. The rampage actually comes up clutch. The healing from the bleed damage and the supports coming out of the spawn is enough to keep them alive. We're looking into OT here. Squidward cannot fall yet. Great sleep dart. Anti-sleep
Get him
dart.
off. In OT, they need to bring it 28 meters.
I mean, they got to run it all the way back.
Yeah.
Chambersburg looking to go coast to coast here. Steel has a nano boost, and Shoot 'em is threatening to have this rocket barrage, but Steel falls. That's exactly what Chambersburg needs. Now they don't have an ult. Penn Manor, they have to back up. They have to respect this, and the OT spawns are going to make all the difference. Plus, this is already captured bot progress. That bot is going to be going lightning quick. They're going to be giving up the forward spawns here. Steel got it, but they're not going to have it anymore.
Will have his barrage if he can get a good placement, and that looks like he will. They're all very grouped up here.
It's North Knight.
Using
It's
it.
the anti from Steel. It's the
It
barrage.
takes out Squid Derp. We were talking about a map 5. He doesn't even need it.
No, there's not going to be a map 5. Shoot 'em just
It
took it
went
away
from
from them.
70 to
And that's going to be Penn Manor taking it 3-1. That's it. There are your champions. The PIEA Spring State Championships go to Penn Manor today. Chambersburg put up a great fight, and they looked to be taking Esperanca, but Penn Manor was just too strong, too formidable, and I mean, maybe with a little bit of luck on their side, I'll rabbit's foot in someone's back pocket. They're able to flip Esperanca, and they take the push map. Holy moly, what a heater of a match that was.
And we can hear the crowd from all the way back here.
All the way backstage, we can hear you guys cheering them on. I mean, great matchup here. Give the players and give the teams all some love. Both of them. Chambersburg came to play today, but it's Penn Manor. The day belongs to Penn Manor. Shunem on that pharmacy was everything. Tech, even switching to the Junker Queen. We saw so many great plays from Tech on the Ramatra. The Junker Queen was everything. The Junker Queen swap was everything they needed.
That was a crazy ass match. That went from 72. They had the spawn points to 0. They did not have any points, and then they somehow brought it back to 140.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell.
No words.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss indeed. Mwah. I can tell you're mostly speechless here. I mean, the disconnect for Moon 3 there, that's got to hurt if you're Chambersburg. That's got to sting. And I really do hope that lights a fire in them and they come back next time around and they come out swinging even harder than they swung this time. Because they swung pretty hard.
They did.
The Penn Manor, they had their guard up and they swung right back at the right moment. Again, shoot him. He is him. He is him. And I mean, the whole Penn Manor squad, they knocked that one clean out of the park there with that Esperanca. The Shambali matchup was incredible. Oasis was just not close. They just looked to be the better team. Blizzard World was nail-bitingly close for Chambersburg to be able to take it there. These teams so evenly matched. I mean, the scoreline doesn't really reflect how close this was, but the fact that Chambersburg are as formidable as a foe as they are makes this victory all the sweeter for a team like Penn Manor.
Honestly, I don't even know how that could have even been much closer. Like, that was so good from Penn Manor. I got no words. That was such a good round. What words are there? 'Cause, I mean, Esperanca, we were talking about how, like, you know, during that little pause, I was talking about how Penn Manor would have to go coast to coast in order to make it happen. And they did that. They lost the fight that we said they were going to lose. And then with only a nano boost in their back pocket, they gave it to Shunem, and everybody from Chambersburg backed up all the way past the midpoint just because they were afraid. All the way to the bridge.
They were afraid. They put the fear of Shunem in them, and they headed for the hills. They dipset all the way back to spawn, gave up so much space, and you can't give up that much against a team like Penn Manor because they will continue to take, and they claw themselves back from an incredible deficit on Esperanca and end up taking the map. What a way to clean that one up. What a way to close that one out. What a team Penn Manor comes out here today with. These are your champions, and they deserve it.
They do very much to deserve it.
I need a breath. I need a breath. I think that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for me. I've been CB, joined by Cherry J. It's been a wonderful opportunity to get here and present this action to you. Congratulations again to Penn Manor. Cherry J, you got anything else you want to say to the crowd real quick?
You know what? Congratulations to Coach Wood for helping all of these players through this amazing year. I know they didn't come first in the fall season. I remember that. They came, I think, second or third. But you know what? They did it here in the much bigger and much more important thing. They had some great coaching. They had some great players. That's all I got to say for that.
Yeah, the coaches often fly under the radar. We can't leave without giving them a shout out there. But now that all our work here is done, Penn Manor, all their work here is done. Congratulations once again. That's going to be it for us. Thank you guys all for coming out and supporting this little Overwatch tournament here, this grand finals matchup here. We'll see you all again next time. Thank you again for coming.